Hello and welcome back to the channel My Paul Weller Collection, a channel dedicated to my collection of everything the Jam, the Style Council and Paul Weller. In today's video I wanted to talk about three artists that if you like the Jam and Paul Weller you'll probably really like these. So the first artist I wanted to talk about was the Molotovs. Here's their bio. With attitude to burn and a fresh Britpop meets punk sound, sibling duo the Molotovs are reviving bombastic UK rock with their debut single More More More. Singer-guitarist Matthew and his bass-playing sister Izzy are only in their teens, but their brand of sneering rock and roll is ageless. Now, I was lucky enough to see the Molotovs, I think it was in April this year, at the Prince Albert Public House in Brighton. As a band, they pretty much got everything. Style, the music, and they're probably the closest thing to the Jam I think I've ever seen. That night they played for 45 minutes. On leaving, I said to my friend who I went with, if this lot don't make it, I don't think there's any hope for rock and roll. About 2 weeks after that, they announced they were going to America to support the Sex Pistols. To date, they've released 2 singles, so let's have a look at them. So there we are, the Molotovs. The first single was More More More, backed with Suffragette City, the David Bowie cover. So as you can see, the style is very mod, very Jam, even down to the stickers on the Rickenbacker guitar. Now this record, More More More, goes on Discogs for an extraordinary amount of money. It's normally about £75. I don't know how many they made. They just released this second single, Today's Gonna Be Our Day, which is a fantastic record. This one's on red vinyl. And the B-side, No Time to Talk. They've got an album coming out in January next year, Wasted on Youth. So the second band I wanted to feature was Sharp Class. They're from Nottingham in the UK. Formerly Subculture, but they changed their name a few years ago. Here's their bio. Sharp Class are a British power trio consisting of Oliver Alton on guitar and lead vocals, Billy Woodfield on bass guitar and Declan Mills on the drums. Their songs are grounded in realism and splattered with a sly English wit, while seamlessly merging the illustrious DNA of punk, soul, power pop, Britpop and rock and roll. Now to date they've released 2 albums, Tales of a Teenage Mind in 2022 and Welcome to the Matinee in 2024. So let's have a look at them. So I was a bit late to the party with Tales of a Teenage Mind on vinyl because they've completely sold out. So I went for the second LP, Welcome to the Matinee Show, and here it is. Now their songs are very much mod revival 1979-1980 style, and they remind me a lot of the Chords, although there's definitely a Jam influence in here as well. I was a bit late for this one as well. I think it originally came out on coloured vinyl, but I got the black one. And this came out on Heavy Soul Records. Now the third artist I wanted to feature was Laurie Wright, and here's his bio. Formed in 2020, Laurie started busking in Camden and quickly amassed an impressive following of loyal fans, releasing 2 albums to date, Get on the End of It in 2023 and We're Only Warming Up in 2024. Displaying brilliantly crafted songs, powerful and emotive with a strong sense of storytelling, reminiscent of musical influences like the Kinks and the Small Faces. The performance on both records capture high energy guitar riffs, emanating and rampageous rock and roll swagger. So let's have a look at the records. Released in 2023, Get on the End of It. Now Laurie Wright to me sounds and looks a bit like Steve Marriott, and I think he takes a huge influence from the Small Faces. But again, there's definitely a Jam influence there, and a bit of Dr. Feelgood as well I can hear. So this is the first record. and the second one released in 2024. We're only warming up. I've noticed in a few of his videos, the band I mentioned earlier, the Molotovs, also feature in some of the videos. So they're obviously friends. So there we are, Laurie Wright, Sharp Class and the Molotovs. Check them out. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one.